Yes, the lawsuit that we have been covering and following, so much being revealed, you're not going to believe that somehow it is connected to Michael Jackson and his death.
Diddy's lawsuit has taken a dramatic turn with Candace Owens stepping forward with startling revelations. According to her, there's a connection between Diddy's legal battle and Michael Jackson's death, a claim that's raising eyebrows and stirring speculation. While it might seem far-fetched at first glance, Owens is adamant about the link, and she's ready to unpack her reasoning. Let's delve into her perspective and how she's weaving this intriguing narrative.
I gotta be honest, I'm kind of terrified. I think this is gonna be the last day that I cover it because we're getting close to something that is very dangerous.
Conservative pundit Candace Owens has ignited a storm of controversy with her recent statements, alleging a connection between Diddy's ongoing lawsuit and the tragic demise of pop legend Michael Jackson. Owens made these bold claims on her podcast, where she delved into the intricacies of Diddy's legal troubles and expressed concern over what she sees as a notable lack of media attention. According to Owens, there exists a significant correlation between Diddy's legal challenges and the enigmatic circumstances surrounding Michael Jackson's passing.
When everything was going on with Michael Jackson, the lawsuits, his death, I thought that we were in full conspiracy theory territory when people were saying that Michael Jackson was
This case is arguably bigger than the Jeffrey Epstein case, and yet the media is silent on it. Why? Owens questioned her social media followers. Terrifying to consider, but Hollywood and our politicians are being blackmailed into compliance. Additionally, she highlighted the connection between the individual allegedly involved in concealing Diddy's son's role in a shooting incident and Michael Jackson's former head of security, who was present at the time of the pop icon's death. Owens posits that individuals of this nature might resort to drastic measures, including to safeguard their interests.
The cleanup guy, Mr. Fahim Muhammad, was also on the scene when Michael Jackson died.
Furthermore, during her podcast, Owens outlined 5 pivotal insights gleaned from Diddy's recent lawsuit, positing that its ramifications could surpass even those of the infamous Jeffrey Epstein case. She also took to social media to voice her apprehensions, emphasizing the scant media attention directed towards Diddy's legal entanglements, and hinting at potential implications for influential figures in both politics and Hollywood. The Diddy case is arguably bigger than the Jeffrey Epstein case, and yet the media is virtually silent on it, Owens tweeted, along with a link to her podcast. That's because they are implicated. It is dark, but we now know that both politicians and celebrities are being blackmailed. Expanding on her claims, Owens reiterated her stance in the YouTube caption, suggesting that both the media and Hollywood have motives for suppressing coverage of the Combs lawsuits. She perceives a dark agenda at work, one geared towards shielding prominent individuals from public scrutiny and consequences. Despite provoking debate and skepticism, Owens' assertions bring attention to the intricate power dynamics within the entertainment industry and underscore the far-reaching implications of legal controversies involving influential figures.
Something else that we learned in the Diddy lawsuit was that the media and the authorities are complicit. So the ring has real power, not imagined power. Again, I am using the word alleged.
I've been performing since I was 5 years old, so I haven't had what you've called an ordinary life.
It's undeniable that Michael Jackson's life was far from ordinary, marked by fame and complex family dynamics that exposed him to many difficult challenges. His passing on June 25, 2009 is one of those moments that sticks in everyone's memory. It sent shockwaves worldwide, dominating headlines for weeks and prompting an unprecedented period of public mourning.
We're not taking that. Michael Jackson is not dead. No, Michael Jackson cannot be dead. He's not there.
Some deaths become iconic moments in culture, and when they do, it's common for unusual theories to emerge. Michael Jackson, a celebrity of immense stature, has had his fair share of elaborate conspiracy theories surrounding his death. Questions have arisen about whether he actually passed away on that day and if the events unfolded exactly as reported. Some even speculate on the possibility of foul play, suggesting that the king of pop might have been intentionally harmed by someone in authority.
Because first of all, Michael told me that they were going to him. He was afraid. He was afraid for his life. the people that were involved in his life, the people that were controlling him. This book, Starting Over.
Michael Jackson privately expressed intense fears about certain matters, a sentiment shared by some of his family members. Now let's shift our focus to his family, a legendary dynasty that has left an indelible mark on modern music. From their early Motown success as the Jackson 5 to Janet's groundbreaking achievements and Michael's lasting legacy as the king of pop, their impact is undeniable. However, Michael Jackson still found himself in many serious allegations. Michael Jackson once found himself in a controversial situation, with an official arrest warrant issued for his alleged inappropriate behavior with children.
It was the most humiliating ordeal of my life. But if this is what I have to endure to prove my innocence, so be it.
As Michael Jackson faced the grave allegations and turned himself in just weeks later, his legal situation reached a critical point. He was grappling with serious allegations, experiencing a low point in his life. Despite a tumultuous life frequently unfolding in the public eye, the abrupt passing of Michael Jackson on June 25, 2009, elicited genuine shock. After decades marked by more unsettling tabloid headlines than chart-topping hits, it appeared that the entertainer was poised to redirect his focus to his career. He had committed to a 50-night residency at London's esteemed O2 Arena for a comeback show titled This Is It, promising an extravagant retrospective of his illustrious career. Unbeknownst to Jackson's fans at the time was the extent of his health struggles and the race he and his team faced to ready him for the stage. This involved addressing issues such as insomnia and D-dependency that had developed in his later years, alongside efforts to maintain a healthy diet. The details of his final 24-hour meals, a crucial aspect often mired in misinformation, shed light on the efforts undertaken to ensure his well-being during this critical period.
I get the breakfast ready for the children in the morning around 8:30, like that, 9 o'clock. And they're having breakfast and time goes by and...
On June 24, 2009, the day before Michael Jackson's untimely death, his final meal at home took place in the company of his family. Despite the forthcoming This Is It residency scheduled in London, rehearsals were conducted at the Staples Center in Los Angeles, conveniently located just a short drive from Jackson's residence on Carrollwood Drive. During this meal, Jackson shared the table with his children, Prince, Paris, and Blanket, all of whom resided with him. Catering to the nutritional needs of the Jackson family was their personal chef, Kai Chase, responsible for crafting health-conscious meals for the pop icon and his loved ones. In a recollection shared on Larry King Live, Chase mentioned preparing 3 meals a day for Jackson, some of which he would carry to rehearsals for This Is It. Whether at home or on the go, Jackson consistently dined downstairs with his children, fostering a familial atmosphere around their shared meals. According to the Associated Press, Kai Chase, the personal chef for the Jackson family, stated that Michael Jackson's last meal with his children at their home consisted of seared ahi tuna paired with an organic salad. This culinary ensemble was complemented by a refreshing blend of carrot and orange juice. It's worth noting that some media outlets initially reported a different menu, suggesting Jackson had a chicken and spinach salad. However, these variations seem to stem from misinterpretations of Chase's broader recollections regarding the family's preferred meals.
They had a chance to play with their cousins and, you know, they're having a great time. They look wonderful. They're happy. And I think it's a great decision.
And seem very attached to their grandma.
Yes.
Contrary to some erroneous claims that Jackson's meal with his family was his final one, another witness contradicts this narrative. According to additional accounts, the star reportedly consumed another meal before heading to rehearsals on the fateful night that would become his last. The grandeur of This Is It was envisioned to be one of the most spectacular live stage shows ever conceived. According to Randall Sullivan's Untouchable, The Strange Life and Tragic Death of Michael Jackson, the production not only aimed to showcase Michael Jackson's remarkable array of hits, but also promised a visual feast with extravagant set pieces and cutting-edge 3D effects. Amidst this spectacle, the audience anticipated Jackson to deliver a performance of unmatched brilliance, singing and dancing at a level he hadn't achieved in over a decade. 40 days and 40 nights, I was on the side. Tragically, Jackson's journey to reclaim his former glory was hindered by chronic back pain, stemming from an onstage accident in 1997. This persistent discomfort led to his dependence on pain medication, impacting his sleep patterns at the time of This Is It. The responsibility for Jackson's health during this critical period was entrusted to Dr. Conrad Murray by the show's promoter, AEG Live. Dr. Murray, in turn, administered prescription D to address the pop star's health challenges.
Of course, the most hidden treasure trove of his life is with me, but I have protected Michael up till now.
Simultaneously, the production crew harbored concerns about Michael Jackson's apparent frailty, particularly given the demanding expectations placed on him. Recognizing the physical challenges of the arduous rehearsal schedule, there was a concerted effort to encourage Jackson to maintain a healthy diet to sustain his energy levels. According to Untouchable, one individual who closely collaborated with Jackson in those concluding days was Ed Alonzo, an accomplished magician tasked with orchestrating large-scale feats of magic for the show. Alonzo attested that on June 24th, just before rehearsals commenced at 9 p.m., he observed what might have been Jackson's last meal, chicken and broccoli.
I've said nothing that has been inflammatory about my friend. I protected Michael. You see, when I had a meeting at the house with AEG officials,
The expectations placed on Michael Jackson to deliver sensational performances throughout his 50-night residency were monumental. While undoubtedly motivated to provide his fans with an unforgettable experience, reports indicated that the singer was facing significant financial challenges. Agreeing to the shows was seen as an opportunity to revitalize not only his career and reputation, but also his financial standing. Consequently, the early rehearsals proved to be demanding, with the King of Pop grappling with poor health and inadequate sleep, causing concern among the production team.
Despite the pain and suffering that I've encountered.
Facing these challenges, Jackson was notably absent for several early rehearsals. As the opening night of This Is It in London loomed just a few weeks away by the end of June, the pressure intensified for things to fall into place, underscoring the urgency to overcome obstacles and present a triumphant performance. During the last rehearsal at the Los Angeles Staples Center, multiple witnesses, including Ed Alonzo, attested to its resounding success. Jackson appeared notably happier and healthier than in any preceding rehearsal, leaving a positive impression on the observers. The session extended until midnight and encompassed Jackson's complete repertoire of hits. As the night concluded, there was a collective conviction that they were moving in the right direction. Jackson expressed satisfaction and gratitude to the team, ending the evening on an optimistic note. However, fate took a tragic turn, marking the final appearance of the King of Pop before the team. Despite Michael Jackson's evident energy and enthusiasm during his final rehearsal, he grappled with issues at home, particularly related to sleep. Despite his genuine excitement about the quality of the This Is It performance, calming himself down proved challenging, as detailed in Untouchable. Nonetheless, he made an effort to go straight to bed, with Dr. Conrad Murray tasked with preparing medications aimed at aiding the overworked star in getting much-needed rest for his comeback residency. Between 1:30 a.m. and 3 a.m., Murray administered 3 different sedatives: Valium, Ativan, and Versed. Additional doses were given throughout the night as Jackson's insomnia persisted.
Michael Jackson never mentioned a single doctor to me who was treating him with opioids, propofol.
Disturbingly, reports indicate that Michael Jackson's final request to Dr. Murray was for some milk. However, this seemingly innocent term concealed a more ominous reality. Untouchable reveals that milk was Jackson's nickname for propofol, a medication to which he had developed a dependency due to chronic pain. Shockingly, Murray administered this substance at 10:40 a.m., marking a tragic turn of events in the life of the iconic performer. In an interview with the Associated Press, Kai Chase recounted the unsettling moment the following morning when she sensed that something was gravely amiss. "I thought maybe Mr. Jackson is sleeping late," Chase said. "I started preparing the lunch and then I looked at my cell phone and it was noon. About 12:05 or 12:10, Dr. Murray runs down the steps and screams, 'Go get Prince!' He's screaming very loud. I run into the den where the kids are playing. Prince, Jackson's oldest son, runs to meet Dr. Murray, and from that point on, you could feel the energy in the house change. I walked into the hall and I saw the children there. The daughter was crying. I saw paramedics running up the stairs. Around lunchtime, Murray rushed down the stairs, urgently calling for Jackson's son, Prince. The situation escalated when paramedics arrived and hurried to Jackson's room, prompting the family to gather downstairs, where they initiated prayers. Chase, in a surreal turn of events, was asked to leave the house while Jackson was being transported to the hospital. Chase recalls, "We were all praying, help Mr. Jackson be okay." Then everyone was very quiet. After administering propofol to Michael Jackson and leaving him alone, Dr. Conrad Murray returned to discover that the iconic pop star was not breathing. Despite his efforts to resuscitate Jackson, who had experienced respiratory arrest, Murray was unsuccessful in reviving him. Upon stepping outside on that fateful day, Kai Chase observed a scene of urgency and distress. Ambulances occupied the courtyard and a crowd had assembled. Chase, who had been hired by Jackson in March, experienced a unique journey with the pop star. Initially let go in May, she returned to Jackson's service on June 2nd. During her tenure, she noted that Jackson's primary focus was on maintaining a diet centered around fresh and healthy food, not only for himself, but also for the children under his care. She said she prepared meals for the family and occasionally for Murray. She said Jackson was in training for his upcoming shows in London and told her, "You have to take care of me." According to Kai Chase, on typical days, Dr. Conrad Murray would bring Michael Jackson the specially prepared fruit juice drinks she crafted, accompanied by granola with almond milk. The pop star's lunch, shared with the children, featured a menu ranging from items like spinach salad to chicken. Sometimes Dr. Murray would join them for dinner, which might include dishes such as seared ahi tuna. Chase mentioned that the doctor would consult with her regarding the 50-year-old singer's dietary preferences, ensuring that he ate properly.
For that morning. So around that time, I noticed I hadn't seen Dr. Murray.
Despite the routine, the only peculiar aspect was the presence of oxygen tanks. Chase admitted to never inquiring about the purpose of the oxygen and emphasized that she noticed no indications of Jackson being on D or experiencing declining health. Normally in the morning, he would bring oxygen tanks from upstairs downstairs, one in each hand, she said. Authorities conducted searches at Dr. Conrad Murray's Las Vegas home and medical office as part of an investigation, which also involved raids of his clinic and storage in Houston the previous week. Pending toxicology reports, investigators are operating on the theory that the potent anesthetic propofol may have played a role in causing Michael Jackson's heart to stop, as per a law enforcement official speaking to the Associated Press. Murray reportedly informed investigators that he routinely administered the D to help Jackson sleep, including on the early morning of June 25th.
I did not spare myself. I am not a perfect man.
The official, speaking anonymously due to the ongoing investigation, disclosed that propofol is meant to be administered exclusively in monitored medical environments by trained personnel. Murray allegedly left the bedroom and returned to find the star unresponsive, marking a critical point in the unfolding events under investigation. The gravity of the situation ultimately led to Murray's legal troubles. Initially, the police said Murray was cooperating and did not label him a suspect, and his lawyer, Edward Chernoff, has said the doctor didn't prescribe or administer anything that should have K'd Michael Jackson. Similar to Dr. Murray, Kai Chase revealed that she had been enlisted to join Michael Jackson for his comeback concerts in London. Interestingly, the request for her involvement came directly from Jackson's 12-year-old son, Prince Michael II. Prince said, "Daddy wants me to tell you he wants you to go to London with us," she recalled. "I said, tell your daddy that I'm pleased and honored." Having completed paperwork and submitted a copy of her passport to the Jackson staff, Kai Chase anticipated departing for London on July 3rd. On June 23rd, Jackson informed her, "I'm packed and I'm ready to go." Sadly, just 2 days later, the pop icon passed away. This marked the end of what Chase described as her dream job and a picturesque period in her life. The journey began in March when Michael Williams, Jackson's assistant, contacted her. Initially unaware that the client was Jackson, she was informed that her services as a personal chef were requested. "I couldn't believe it," she said. "I asked him if I was on candid camera. I said, 'Am I being punked?'" Kai Chase explained that Michael Jackson had reviewed her resume, which highlighted her experience cooking for Macy Gray and Jamie Foxx, along with catering a fundraiser for President Barack Obama. Jackson was also aware of her multiracial background and the fact that Red Fox was her godfather. However, before officially starting her role, Chase had to undergo approval from 3 additional individuals, the Jackson children. "I came to the house and the first people I met were the kids. They started interviewing me," she said. "They told me, 'We're into healthy eating.' When they approved her, she went to work and we developed a really great bond." Most days, she said, Jackson made a point of having both lunch and dinner with the children, Prince, 11-year-old Paris, and 7-year-old Prince Michael II, known as Blanket, and each meal was preceded by Paris saying grace. After weeks of healthy food, she said she wrote Jackson a note with a suggestion. "I said, what about doing comfort food Saturdays? We could do barbecued chicken and corn on the cob, maybe Mexican food or soul food." She said he loved the idea, but as the concerts approached, healthy eating returned full time. He said, "I'm a dancer," and he wanted food that would not make him cramp up while he was dancing. So according to Candace Owens during all this scene, Fahim Muhammad, who was the same guy mentioned at the shooting involving Diddy and his son, was present, which has led people to think that Diddy may be potentially involved in Michael's death. One person on the internet wrote, "The Michael Jackson stuff, I started questioning if they took him down because he knew what was going on. There was a video a while ago breaking down his 'They Don't Care About Us' song and the lyrics and what he was really saying, framing him to be a P when he was trying to save/protect them. They frame anyone who will try to expose things in the industry and crazy, etc., etc." Another one added, "I also questioned how this kid could be head of security for Michael Jackson and P. Diddy. What credentials and experience could he possibly have under his belt? Oh yeah, it's called a fall guy, but he got away scot-free." One more person added, "It's crucial to bring light to the truths behind the scenes in the entertainment industry. Exposing connections like the one between Michael Jackson and Diddy is not just about stirring the pot. It's about transparency, understanding, and sometimes finding justice. Your courage to speak out and delve into these stories is admirable. But even beyond this case, there are reports he might also be involved in inducing MJ into all those alleged S activities with young people, because according to the lawsuit, he has been involved in many freakouts." Talking about Cassie's lawsuit, it also included forcing her to have S with multiple male S workers while he watched, touched himself, and recorded. The lawsuit refers to the alleged S incidents as freakouts, claiming that they occurred in various hotel suites, including at the Trump International Hotel in New York City. Among the serious allegations is the accusation that Diddy engaged in ST involving Cassie directing her to male S workers while he observed for his S pleasure. The lawsuit asserts that she was instructed to cover herself with oil and engage in S activities with multiple men, sometimes in masks and costumes.
It had to be for both of them. They was in the room, right? You're right. It's a freak-off section.
It states that the music executive, who she first met as a teenager, told her it would turn him on if he saw her with another D. He allegedly hired a man and brought him to his home in Los Angeles to engage in the S acts with Cassie. Mr. Combs directed Miss Ventura to perform S acts with this man while Mr. Combs watched them, the lawsuit states. He touched himself while he directed Miss Ventura and the man to do specific S acts. The entire encounter lasted multiple days. She claimed Diddy got drunk during a freak-off around March 2016 and punched her in the face, leaving her with a black eye. Further, she stated that she attempted to leave the hotel room when he fell asleep, but he woke up and started screaming at her. Allegedly, he grabbed at her, took the glass vases from the hallway, and threw them at her, causing glass to shatter around them as she ran to the elevator to escape. Although she managed to reach her apartment, she claimed to have returned out of fear that he would become even angrier. When she returned, hotel security staff urged her to get back into a cab and go to her apartment, suggesting that they had seen the security footage showing Mr. Combs beating Miss Ventura and throwing glass at her in the hotel hallway, the lawsuit states. She alleged that Diddy paid the hotel staff $50,000 for the hallway security footage from that evening. On another occasion in 2013, Diddy allegedly organized a freak-off and incurred tens of thousands of dollars in damages to the hotel. According to the lawsuit, Cassie was expected to coordinate the location and hire male S workers for these events. She was allegedly instructed to use websites and escort services to find men with large black P. The lawsuit contends that Diddy insisted on these encounters weekly, repeatedly telling her it was our thing and our secret.
Oh, she didn't want it, but Cassie, who searched for the big black, and she was searching for the big black.
Cassie claimed that these freak-offs often took place in hotel suites, including the Trump International Hotel in Columbus Circle, L'Hermitage Beverly Hills, the London Hotel in Los Angeles, and intercontinental hotels across the country. Allegedly, Diddy's assistants would assist in setting up the freak-offs by providing baby oil and lubricant. The lawsuit states, Mr. Combs always supplied Miss Ventura and the S worker with copious amounts of D before and during the FOs. Miss Ventura was given ecstasy, C, GHB, ketamine M and A in excessive amounts during FOs, which allowed her to disassociate during these horrific encounters. It became commonplace to get IV fluids in the days after an FO to recover from the excessive substances pushed upon her. She claimed Diddy would ask her to pour excessive amounts of oil over herself before he instructed her and the S workers on what to do. Mr. Combs would say things like, grab that big black D and ask her, how does it feel? as he directed her to perform for him, the lawsuit states. Diddy allegedly used his phone, laptop, and tablet to film the freak-offs, treating it like a personal art project and adjusting the lighting. Cassie stated that she deleted photographs and videos of the S-acts if they were taken on her phone, but she claimed Diddy told her he kept many. The lawsuit further claims that he AR'd her in September 2018, alleging that he forced his way into her apartment after dinner in Malibu, California. He allegedly tried to kiss her before forcibly removing her clothes and unbuckling his belt. He proceeded to R Miss Ventura while she repeatedly said no and tried to push him away, the lawsuit claims. Following this alleged incident, Cassie said she took steps to completely separate herself from her longtime R. She eventually left the home he paid for and returned the car he purchased for her. But Cassie said she suffers from immense emotional distress from the immense trauma endured over a decade with Mr. Combs. So if Cassie has endured such trauma, some people claim that that might be evidence suggesting that Michael also suffering from all these things was because Diddy potentially forced him into all the things he was accused of and even allegedly propelled the legendary singer's death also. That's it for today. See you in the next video. Until then, goodbye.